Welcome to this new session on negotiation essentials for engineers. Today, we're diving into negotiation strategy and tactics. It's like planning a project. You need a strategy to guide you, and smaller moves to handle different situations. Negotiation is a lot like engineering. It needs careful planning and adaptability. Just as you'd plan a project meticulously, negotiation needs a solid strategy tailored to your goals. This big-picture plan keeps you on track in the midst of the ups and downs of negotiation. But it's not just about the big plan. You also need to be flexible and ready to adjust your approach as things change. Just like an engineer adapting to unexpected challenges, negotiators must be agile and responsive, using tactical moves to navigate through obstacles. Today, we're exploring negotiation in detail. We'll learn about different strategies and tactics, using our engineering mindset to manage conflicts and get the outcomes we want. By seeing negotiation through an engineering lens, we can tackle it with confidence, using our problem-solving skills to find solutions. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring the art and science of negotiation with our engineering know-how. In negotiation, having a strategy is like making a plan to achieve your goals. It's like preparing a project plan before starting work. A good strategy might involve learning the principles we are discussing during this training, or waiting before making commitments too early. On the other hand, a tactic is like a quick move you use in the moment to reach your goal. For example, if you get a low starting offer, saying unacceptable firmly can be a strong tactic. Let's examine two scenarios, one for strategy and one for tactics, to clarify the distinction between them. Scenario 1. Strategy. Imagine you are a project manager negotiating a contract with a potential client for a new software development project. Your strategy in this negotiation involves several key steps. First, you conduct thorough research on the client's industry, their specific needs, and the current market rates for similar projects. Armed with this knowledge, you identify your priorities and areas where you can be flexible. Next, you plan your negotiation approach, deciding which concessions you're willing to make and which terms are non-negotiable. Additionally, you anticipate potential objections or concerns from the client and prepare responses to address them effectively. Finally, you set clear goals for the negotiation, such as achieving a fair price for your services while maintaining a positive relationship with the client. By following this strategic approach, you position yourself for a successful negotiation outcome that meets both your needs and the client's. Scenario 2. Tactic. Now, let's consider a specific tactic you might employ during the negotiation process. Suppose the client offers a lower budget than you anticipated for the project. In response, you utilize the tactic of anchoring by initially presenting a higher price point based on the value of your services and the quality of work you can deliver. However, you also employ the tactic of reciprocity by offering additional benefits or services to sweeten the deal and demonstrate your willingness to accommodate the client's budget constraints. Furthermore, you employ active listening skills to understand the underlying reasons for the client's budgetary concerns and tailor your responses accordingly. By strategically deploying these tactics, you aim to steer the negotiation towards a mutually beneficial agreement where both parties feel satisfied with the outcome. Throughout this training, we'll cover different strategies and tactics tailored for engineers like you. Understanding these concepts will help you navigate negotiations confidently. We will now discuss the critical aspect of handling conflicts within negotiations, a skill vital for successful outcomes. Individuals typically adopt one of 5 patterns when addressing conflicts: collaboration, competition, compromise, accommodation, or avoidance. Each style offers distinct advantages in negotiation scenarios. Collaboration style, akin to teamwork, is beneficial when addressing concerns that are too significant to concede easily. It involves open communication and a shared effort to find mutually beneficial solutions. Competition style, characterized by a win-at-all-costs mindset, can be effective in urgent situations but may strain relationships if overused. It prioritizes achieving personal goals without much regard for the concerns of others. Compromise style. Finding a middle ground between opposing positions becomes valuable when both parties hold relatively equal power and neither can fully achieve their objectives. Accommodation style. This involves yielding to the other party's needs as a goodwill gesture, particularly useful when the issue holds greater significance for them than for oneself. Avoidance style. Though sometimes necessary, involves sidestepping the conflict altogether, especially when confronting it could exacerbate the situation or jeopardize relationships. As engineers, comprehending these conflict handling styles equips us to navigate negotiations adept in diverse scenarios. Recognizing when to employ each approach strategically can lead to more effective resolution of conflicts, and ultimately contribute to successful negotiation outcomes.
Let's explore scenarios illustrating the 5 conflict resolution styles to grasp their distinctions in negotiation contexts. Imagine you're negotiating a partnership agreement with a software development company to integrate their product with yours. The collaboration style comes into play as both parties openly share their concerns and objectives. You engage in productive discussions, exploring innovative ways to combine your technologies for mutual benefit. Through teamwork and transparent communication, you identify synergies and jointly develop a comprehensive plan that addresses the needs and goals of both companies. By collaborating effectively, you lay the foundation for a strong partnership and a successful integration project. Now, let's consider a scenario where you're negotiating a contract extension with a client who is seeking a significant discount on your services. In this situation, the competition style may come into play as you strive to protect your interests while also meeting the client's demands. You adopt a win-at-all-costs mindset, leveraging your competitive advantage and emphasizing the unique value proposition of your services. However, this approach risks straining the relationship with the client if not balanced with considerations for their needs and concerns. While competition can be effective in urgent situations, it's essential to use it judiciously to preserve long-term partnerships.
Consider a scenario where you are negotiating the terms of a project with a vendor who has slightly different preferences regarding delivery timelines and payment schedules. In this scenario, employing the compromise style becomes valuable as you seek to find common ground between your positions. Both parties recognize that they cannot fully achieve their objectives without some level of give and take. Through constructive dialogue and flexibility, you reach a middle ground where both parties make concessions to ensure a mutually beneficial outcome. Compromise allows you to maintain a positive relationship with the vendor while still meeting the project's objectives within reasonable constraints. Let's now consider a scenario where you're negotiating with a potential client who has specific requirements that differ from your standard offerings. Here, accommodation comes into play as you prioritize meeting the client's needs over your own preferences. You demonstrate flexibility and goodwill by accommodating their requests, even if it means adjusting your usual terms or processes. By showing a willingness to adapt and tailor your approach to align with the client's priorities, you build trust and goodwill, laying the foundation for a successful partnership. Accommodation can be particularly useful when the issue holds greater significance for the client than for your own organization. In some cases, avoiding conflict altogether may be the most appropriate strategy. Imagine you're negotiating with a vendor who consistently brings up contentious issues that threaten to derail the negotiation process. Recognizing that addressing these issues head-on could escalate tensions and jeopardize the relationship, you choose to sidestep the conflict for the time being. Instead, you focus on areas of agreement and seek to make progress on other fronts. While avoidance may not always lead to a definitive resolution, it can buy time to address underlying issues more effectively in the future or explore alternative solutions.
As engineers, you're adept problem solvers, and negotiation presents itself as a puzzle waiting to be deciphered. Throughout today's session, we've established a solid groundwork for comprehending the intricacies of negotiation, encompassing strategies, tactics, and conflict resolution styles. Now armed with this knowledge, it's imperative to apply these principles judiciously, thinking strategically, and employing tactical maneuvers with precision. Just as you meticulously analyze complex engineering problems, approach negotiations with a similar level of analytical rigor and foresight. Remember, negotiation is not merely a transactional exchange, but a dynamic process where the interplay of strategies and tactics can shape outcomes significantly. By integrating strategic thinking with tactical agility, you'll navigate negotiation landscapes with confidence and finesse, optimizing results while preserving relationships. Thank you for your active participation in this session. As you embark on your negotiation endeavors, may you apply these principles effectively and find fulfillment in achieving your objectives.